You're welcome to the program. My name is Kimini Nyamani Amano. In our first story, CEO of the GN Bank, Patrick Emmanuel, is asking government to take the agriculture sector more seriously this year if it wants to ensure some economic stability. For him, a well-developed and organized agricultural sector can boost exports and guarantee a more stable foreign exchange zone.
Of the areas that we should take seriously is our export. You know, because if we're able to export, then we'll be able to preserve our foreign exchange. We'll be able to really have a lot of dollars floating, and therefore pricing of dollar will be down. You know, this economic concept of supply and demand. If there's little dollar in the country, then there's struggle for dollar, and therefore the price goes up. Now, if we're able to produce a lot of agricultural produce, take for example rice. We have this Volta River, you know, flowing from north down to south. If you go to Atani area, it's just flowing into the sea. If somewhere along the line, downstream, we could tap them and do mechanized farming, we could do a lot of vegetables. Do you know that we even import tomatoes and so on from Burkina? If we could dam our lake, we could cultivate vegetables like even tomatoes, garden eggs and so on that we need a lot. One very important agricultural produce, rice, can be produced in the Accra Plains. It has been tried before. In fact, they are still doing at this Volta rice factory. You know, if we could be serious with that, and that one requires government intervention, where the government will provide, you know, available land, will provide the irrigation equipment, will provide the mechanized, you know, machines that we need and so on. And then maybe do block farming, allocate it to farmers. You'll find that farmers will grow, and they will grow and grow and grow. We'll get a lot of rice. If there's a lot of rice, there will be no need in chasing after dollars to go and import rice. And therefore, it will stabilize the dollar. And if the dollar is stabilized, it controls prices by itself, you know, market economy. And therefore, inflation will also be stabilized. So for us, for some of us, we think that if we take agriculture seriously, we'll be able to solve part of our problem.
The Catholic Bishops' Conference is asking both government and the people of Ghana to do more in fighting the twin canker of bribery and corruption in the country. The Catholic Bishops said corruption remains pervasive in the society because current interventions are inadequate to deter culprits. I spoke earlier with Joseph Osei-Bonsu, President of the Catholic Bishops' Conference.
Well, the corruption is bad. Corruption is so pervasive, as we have said, and you know, it's not only with the politicians. You know, it's found in so many places. So there are politicians, the judiciary, security agencies, customs, excise, and preventive service. You have mentioned DVLA. We have in educational institutions, people taking bribes before they will accept students in schools. We find in the workplace, in the marketplace, in the media, in sports, with the traditional rulers who are selling land 2, 3, 4 times over, in the church, and so on. And so it's very pervasive, and it's very serious.
But why is it pervasive, using your own words? Why do we still have it so widespread?
Because we lack people of integrity. People have been entrusted with certain jobs, but they don't have integrity, and so they are not doing the right things. So we have you know, structures, all right, we have strong institutions, but the people manning the institutions generally don't have integrity, and that is the cause of, you know, these problems.
This integrity we talk about, is it something we can learn to have, or perhaps we should be, you're probably born with?
Well, I think it's something that we can learn if you don't have it. The integrity, honesty, and so on. If you don't have it, you can learn it. But we need it to be able to do whatever work is given to us. So if you're in charge of people's money, you know, it doesn't mean that you should dip your hands into it. You must have a conscience that will tell you that the money doesn't belong to you, and so you shouldn't take it. So that's what I mean by integrity, honesty.
So how can the Ghanaian society rebuild its integrity?
Well, You know, there are various institutions like the churches, several church organizations that are always talking about these things. And I think the more we talk about them, the better, so that people will get to know that they need to have integrity when they are working. They need to be honest when they are working. So it's the work of groups like the church, you know, to do this.
We'll stay on the subject of corruption a while longer. CPP spokesperson on youth and sports, James Kwabena Bonfe Jr. says the fight against corruption must be a responsibility of all Ghanaians and not only the government. He was speaking with Michael Kwabena Chenchahene Boateng on the AM show earlier today.
The issue of corruption, my brother, it's something, it's a phenomenon that manifests itself in various forms and shapes. Of course, we have a better understanding of it when it comes to utilization of public resource. But corruption in the real sense of the word goes far beyond that. But we limiting ourselves to the concept or the area of public resource management and accountability. It cannot be entirely placed at the doorstep of one person or one institution per se. It's not possible. It can't happen that way. In the fight against corruption, nobody is entirely, if you like, excused. Neither is there anybody who would entirely be burdened with it alone. It is something that we need a collective, concerted effort to fight against. The first most important thing is identification of what is corrupt, or appreciation of what corruption is. Someone might engage in an activity without unknowing or appreciating that that deed is a corrupt practice. And also we need to why I want to insist on the need to appreciate it better is that there are tendencies within our traditional and cultural setup or systems that may in some jurisdiction be assumed or be read as corruption, but really not. For example, a thank you in the real sense of thank you for an effort or some assistance that someone might have extended to you. And I'll give a classical example. If you are a contractor, and I want to use a critical example for us to appreciate, in my sense, what in our cultural dispensation should not and cannot qualify for corruption in some sense. If you are a contractor, and I'm the head of a department that awards contracts, yes, you bid through the proper process. Among other competitors, you are shortlisted. Eventually, you are the award winner. You won on merit. But within our cultural setup, we expect that when somebody extends an assistance, and if you like, in this sense, a favor, because you were shortlisted out of a lot. You were picked out of even a shortlisted list or number. So in that sense, going back to say thank you to my brother, in a sense not paying him for what he did for you, but saying thank you, I don't see it as corrupt.
So you don't see that as corrupt? Don't you think that they have the tendency to actually corrupt future?
Let me conclude better.
Well, meanwhile, Vice Chair of the New Patriotic Party within the Trobo constituency, Eric Amwakuchum, is of the view government must take the lead in the fight against corruption.
Of corruption, you realize that in the last few months or so, almost every grouping has sort of seen that it's important that we start doing something about it and move away from the business as usual whereby we keep talking about it, but nothing really happens. Now, the government's own track record in dealing with corruption is there for everybody to see. I mean, there's a plethora of examples that we can come up with. You know, Subers and the Jaders, and a classic example is what's happened with Woyomi, for instance, where there's actually a court order that the monies are meant to be retrieved, and even the government's own initiative in terms of asking some service providers when it came to Jida and Sada, talk of Asun Taba and the Zumla group, for instance, to reimburse to the state coffers monies that were paid to them for jobs that were not done, has not actually materialized. So moving into a new year, I think it's important that we look at that, we bring that into perspective, to realize that as a country, with all the problems that we are facing, if we do not cure this canker of corruption, and it has to come from the top. I mean, the top leadership of government should basically take that initiative to deal with that problem. We will still be facing the problems that we face today, because I mean, we have dire problems with our economy, for instance, issues with our energy sector, and the wastages in the system, coupled with the corruption that we are facing today, means that no matter how hard we work, we will still be deviled by some of these problems. So, I mean, the importance of dealing with the corruption is basically, it cannot be underestimated. We need to basically get to the bottom of exactly why it is happening, and hold government more accountable for corruption in our society, because most of the things that are happening are coming from institutions that is actually governed or is superintended over by government, and then government's own actions. I mean, when you're talking about corruption, we are talking about issues with the value for money audits for some of the projects that the government itself has undertaken, and then the government's own.
Do we have the person online
when it comes to reporting some of these issues?
Then they should have put it on. Well, the executive director for Media Foundation for West Africa, Suleiman Abrahima, says unlike politicians, the media in West Africa must not fail the sub-region. I'll tell you more about that when I return in a bit. Don't go away. On to some other stories. Director of Policy and Research at the Artisanal and Small-Scale Mining African Network, Edward Akoko, is calling for greater efforts to curb the use of cyanide and mercury in mining by small-scale miners. According to Akoko, the health and environmental impact makes it imperative for drastic action to be taken to protect the future. He has meanwhile urged small-scale miners to use non-chemical processes in extracting gold.
A challenge that we need to deal with. The second challenge that we identified was the fact that most small-scale miners are rather even shifting from the use of mercury, which we are even, talking against, to the use of cyanide, which is even more dangerous than mercury. And this is a trend that we think government needs to take seriously, because the use of cyanide is more harmful, more dangerous even than mercury. So if we are asking that, look, small-scale miners shift from the use of mercury to a more environmentally hygienic chemical, and then rather they are moving to the use of cyanide, then it tells you that there's danger ahead of us and we need to be careful. And the question is, what is motivating this? It's purely because they think that cyanide has a high extractive capacity than mercury. Because cyanide is able to extract the gold more from the ore than even mercury, so it gives them more value for money. But they don't care about the health risk. They don't care about the health risk, and that, I think, is what we need to work on. So this research has shown that there are some non-chemical processes that can be used, and what we are trying to do as a civil society organization is to try to push some of these ones. When the World Bank held a forum in 2014 here in Ghana, there were presentations by some experts on research that they have done, which is able to use certain methodologies and certain machines to extract the ore without the application of any chemical. And this is the most environmentally efficient and effective method that we can have. The concern has, however, been that some of the operators think that some of these methods are, first of all, cumbersome, and secondly, they do not give them the maximum yield, the maximum extractive yield. And therefore, that is where our advocacy is going on now, because we think that people must be motivated, because I don't think that anybody in his right sense would like to, leave a process that will keep him healthy and go for a process that will put his health in risk. So what we need to do is to make sure that these non-chemical processes will rather give the best maximum yield. Once that happens, then people will leave the chemical processes and go to the non-chemical processes. Now, the small-scale miner in Ghana is being conscientized to recognize the fact that he himself needs to protect the environment, because when the last tree dies, he himself is going to die.
Exactly.
Because from simple environmental, conservation, we have all learned that human beings breathe oxygen from trees.
Definitely.
And so the small-scale miner today is being conscientized to know that, look, in as much as you need to remove some trees so that you can operate, you must also be wary of the fact that you need to make effort to plant some more trees so that you can get more oxygen, to safeguard water so that you can also get water to drink. And you can even get some more water to also do your operations. And so this is the angle where we are coming from. So mercury does a lot of damage to the environment and to the user, and cyanide is even more worse.
Today being the first working day of 2015 also means that it will be extremely busy at the Driver Vehicle and Licensing Authority. And the Joy News has been there. We sought some views from those who were there to do business. Latif Idrisu brought in this report.
Your name first, sir?
Yeah, my name is Adabo. Adabo, yes.
I see you have your number plates. Now, could you tell us the experience you went through before getting this plate?
Well, the experience has been mixed. I was here in the morning around about 4 a.m. and I had done the pre-inspection earlier on, so I thought it was going to be very smooth. But then I came in, we had to go through customs, and then the most difficult part was with the building there, where you have to pay, and you always, even picking forms takes a bit of time. Yeah, but I've gone through it quite okay.
So you have 2015?
Yes.
2401, okay. Now how does it make you feel to get 2015 number plate? Did you wait for 2015, or you just got the vehicle and decided to register in 2015?
No, I waited for it. I mean, I got a vehicle at the tail end of the year, so I felt, since we place a lot of value on when the vehicle was registered instead of the actual mileage on the vehicle. In some other places, they look at the mileage, because that determines whether the car is old or not. But here in Ghana, it's the year in which it was registered. So I'm quite excited.
But you think the process is cumbersome?
Well, I think the process can do with a bit of fine-tuning. For instance, I did part of it online. And I was thinking that coming back here, it was going to be smoother, because the guy where I did the inspection, the guy gave me the impression that, once you do that and go online and do the registration and everything, you come here, it's just a breeze, and just 20 minutes and you are gone. But it's not like that. But I think it's a bit okay. But there are still people who are doing stuff for people. The Guru guys are still around, so that takes a bit of time.
The Guru guys, what does it mean?
Yeah, the Guru guys, those are the guys who, they have been talking about them. Those guys who are here and they help people, do all kinds of stuff. They know the people there, so even when you are in the queue, they'll come in and then they push their stuff and things like that. If that system would go very smoothly, without these other Guru guys, I'm sure that it will be much better.
So what you're saying is that we have people going through the back door?
Oh, of course. We all know that. This is not something that anybody should be surprised about. Yes.
But I spoke with the CEO earlier on and denied the fact that we have people going through the back door, and that they've put a mechanism in place to ensure that it doesn't happen.
putting mechanism in place is one thing, but actually the mechanism working is another thing. You know, I think that this is a structure. It's a big structure out there. So it is not just even the people here. You go out there are people at the other end, you know, who are there, and they're also part of the structure. So you see people taking stuff there, they type quickly, bring them back. You know, it's a whole big business. So when you are dealing with a problem, it's not just saying that the people are going to go away. They will not go away. And then people do not have the luxury of time. So if they come in and they realize that the normal system is going to take a longer time, then there's no way they are going to wait. They will just use the Guru guys.
All right, thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
So just tell us your experience.
I'm at 8:30. How many years? About 10 years. I'm a the process in the BBI okay, the mame. But the BBI is in by 8:30. Because some office. One come and be a major number. I say, I'm going copies. The copies in Busa American Kakran. He said, me outside. We need me be our inside. Have you? The cotton outside. I can't have Jimmy copies. The experience is starting from, but this year, next year, the name we are doing, last year, the name we are doing, but this year, the BBI Boko, the Amaya or Hansia, and face BBI okay.
We are Jumaha.
Me outside, but me registration member.
And Timuna, you're from Goro Boys, no.
Oh, no, they mean to me because I what 10 years into the Mrs. Sumia. I'm your company. America and bring a man be home, Madam.
Okay. I also was outside. Yes. Also, the cars, but now what they settle on inside Hanum. Yes. Okay. Into Mumwe Jumano as Goro Boys. I know a saying. Oh,
yes, a one so far no more government in the towards the fans of the be okay. But to be my children of some bad things, they are not be a man, say be a dinner to me say. But you man that is her. You say more 10 years, me home, Ubi and whom a mass mother. You will be as whom look also that. Okay. You be as a maybe as a general, the man will be okay. And see, no, no, dear, okay, mammy. Okay, but complaints they say, Guru Boys no more far back draw. More acting to know, or details now, no man coffee. Now, overlate Kana, I am fast. What do you have to say about it? I don't know the amendment. This will be an edge my way. We say, men, no, bintino. We should be a mamma and fan compare media mayor. Okay. To medium dim Latin so. Okay. Let's say, cast send a warrior some for and then oh, and then meet my cast tray. Okay. Cast trainer my. By the end of the day today, how many cars do you expect to register for people? Oh, say no mass, the meme records from 10 cars, okay. But no be today. Okay. And be small, yes. Okay. It's okay for me. Okay. So how much do you make in a day? Oh, that one, dear. That's a raw figure. Yeah, no. Raw figure. Oh, that one, I can't say that to the public, yes. Okay, so who do any bois? Bear saying. I can't tell. Baba, okay, dear. Okay. Bye bye. So you give us your name.
Kanasari is my name.
So what exactly is the problem with your vehicle registration?
No, it's not vehicle registration. It's my license renewal, driver's license renewal. I came here 2013 to renew my license, and the common note they gave me was supposed to expire 22nd October 2013, which means that on that date I was supposed to get my license renewed. I came, they told me it was not ready. They extended the date to 25th April 2014. So I went back and then came back on that day. When I came again, it was not ready. So they extended it to 30th August 2014, hoping that that day to be ready. I came back a couple of times. I called, they said it was not ready. So today I decided to come and see if it's ready. I came, and when I came, the gentleman in charge just picked it and then wrote 30th May 2015, telling me it's not ready. I should go. If it's ready, then I'll get it. I don't understand. I seriously don't understand, because it's a bit frustrating. Because I'm driving a car which is comprehensively insured. Now, if somebody drives into it, the first thing the insurance will ask, or the policeman will ask me, where's your license? And then if I don't produce the license, what happens? And it's taking me over 1.5 years to get my license renewed. It's not a new license, it's renewal. I've gone through all the processes, paid the money. So why is it taking getting to 2 years to get a license renewed? I don't understand. It's frustrating.
And what are the officers telling you, the cause of the delay?
He didn't tell me anything. He just wrote a new date that I should go and come. It's not ready. That's what he said. That is his word. It's not ready. If it's ready, give me. That's all.
How long does it even take to get a new license? If you're going in for a new license, how long does it take to get it?
Well, when I came, the renewal, they told me that within 3 months I should get it. So for the renewal, because I've done my license long ago, so I cannot tell what the system tells now. But at least the renewal, I was told 3 months I'll get it. And
3 months has turned out to be 1.5
1.5 years. And that's frustrating. So that something can be done to the system, I think it will help everybody, because there are other things, other businesses that needs to be done. We leave it and then come here, and all that you hear is that it's not ready, go and come. It's not on.
All right.
Thank you. 2014. So that was when I was supposed to get it. Then I came, it did not materialize, so they extended it to 25th April 2014. When I came, the state was not ready, so they extended it to 30th August 2014. Then I came, and it's not ready.
We'll stay on the subject, find out the line of activities today at the Driver and Vehicle Licensing Authority office here in Accra. Latif Idris is our man there for us. He's joined me over the telephone. Hello, Latif.
Hello, Kameni.
What more can you tell us about happening there today?
Yeah, I mean, the place here is very, very busy, as one would expect. You know, when we came in the morning, we had lots and lots of vehicles here, or in the queue trying to get a 2015 number plate. But as it were, you know, the situation here is very, very slow. And speaking to some of them, as you just saw in the video that was played, they complained about different, you know, happenings here. Some of them are speaking about the fact that it's taking them over 5 to 6 hours to get their number plates, even though they started this process 6 and then 7 days back. They did the online version and then have to come here to complete what's on the ground. But it's taking them quite a long time to do that. And another complaint is that we have people called Guru guys. Now, they have a link with people working here on the ground. So once you're able to tip them off, they will just go through the back door and ensure that you have your number plate in no time. So
very well.
Yeah, and not just these two people, but we have lots and lots of them with the same story here.
Very well. Can you hear me?
Yeah, Kameni.
You can hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Let's look at the process. How fluid is the process of licensing one's vehicle today at the DVLA?
Yeah, the process, you know, we have about 4 or 5 blocks here. So the first thing is when you come, you know, there's a place meant for checking the status of the vehicle to see whether the vehicle is not a stolen vehicle. Now, if it is a stolen vehicle, then you would have to, you know, face the rigors of the law. Now, if you're able to go through the process smoothly, then you move on to another block B, where we check the you know, nature of the vehicle, whether it's roadworthy, it's qualified to be on the road or not. So then you move on to another block where you have to pay some amount of money to get your number plate. From there, you go through another process. So the process here is, you know, we can say a lot of bureaucracy here.
How long does it typically take, or for one to obtain a vehicle license today?
Vehicle license. Yeah, speaking to the manager of the place, Noah Tepe Mate, he told us that maximum is 3 days. So we can introduce Tepe Mate and what he said in an interview.
Let's take a look at that quickly.
An increase in numbers, or it's still the same as we had in 2014?
Thank you so much. In the first place, yesterday was the first, so yesterday was early. 2014 beginning compared to 2015 beginning, for the number of vehicles inflow has reduced in 2015. However, still the 250 we are targeting for registration for the start. We are almost at 220 now. So hopefully we are going to get the target of 250 vehicles registered for the day. Yes.
So and now let's look at, I mean, customized number plates. Are we getting that numbers? People coming in for a customized number?
Yes, people do come. People do come.
So have you had to register any, I mean, start of 2015? 2015?
No, for the beginning of this year. You know, today is the beginning of the 2015 registration. As at now, we have not got any yet for registration. So it means, as we are talking now, we have not yet registered any customized vehicle.
Yes. Now let's look at driver's license. There's been complaints. People complain that they come here for over a year and they still don't have their license ready. What do you think accounts for that?
Yes. You know, when a license is processed, the data of the particular person or the applicant is processed by the office, and then it is sent to the print farm on a pen drive. Then the print farm prints the license, whilst the applicant uses a temporary one which is issued at the operational end until the license is printed. Now, for some time now, information we send to the print farm on pen drive have not been able to be printed because our machines had problem at the print farm, and also coupled with some few power failures. But as at now, it has been resolved and all the licenses have been printed. It is being sorted out at the print farm, from where it will be brought to the regional office for onward distribution to our clients. In the meantime, those who have got their temporary licenses expired, we extend it for them so that they will be free to use the road. The police has been informed about it, and therefore when you hold a temporary license, it is valid and you are accepted. It is accepted to be used on the road.
Because the complaint is that they've used the temporary license for over a year. They come here every time and they are given a renewal date.
No, it is not every time. When you come, we extend it for 3 months for you. So if you are holding a temporary license, then it means for those who are affected, you have been here on 2 occasions. That is the first 3 months and then the second 3 months. Now, if somebody should hold one for a year, then there might be something wrong, for which the person has to report to the regional manager for assistance.
Well, away from that, we can now take a look at some sports stories. And former IBF bantamweight champion Joseph King Kong Agbeko is eyeing a return to the top table of world boxing in 2015 after expressing delight over his recent inking of a 3-year promotional contract with former world champion Roy Jones Jr.'s RJJ promotion status. Agbeko, who previously twice held the IBF bantamweight belt, has not fought since losing a comeback at super bantamweight against undefeated world champion Guillermo Rigondo in December of 2013. But King Kong received a huge boost recently when RJJ boxing CEO Keith Velcher announced the signing of the Ghanaian hitman to a 3-year deal, which includes 2 fights in the United States and 1 fight in Ghana every year. It's news that has got Agbeko buzzing with renewed confidence as he maintains the dream of being crowned a world boxing champion again. Also, CEO of Agbeko's own Fresh King Entertainment Boxing Promotion Syndicate, which is built to co-stage the boxer's next fight tentatively against Filipino Marlon Tapales in Accra in March. Ebenezer Noy says no deal for the March 15 date has yet been finalized. Thanks for your company here. Amanda, goodbye.